Hello again, my nomies. We are back with a familiar sight. My 2006 Equinox. We were working on her some last week, and we're back this week. Like I promised, we're going to try and replace her engine control module. There should be a newly rebuilt one in this envelope right here. Came in too late to do last week, but I've got it now. And when we replace that, it's going to fix all of my stalling problems. Just like the Eddie Floyd song, you better knock on wood. So thanks again for joining us here on the MT and Me. Well, that engine ECM has really been giving me fits lately, causing random stalling, and it's just been getting worse. So I ordered a replacement. It's not brand new, it's a rebuilt model. I'll explain about that in just a minute. And let me tell you right off the bat, I've actually already opened this envelope and opened up the ECM, so I don't really have a grand opening of this. Turn it right side up. But the issue was I wanted to get to the paperwork, and it turned out I had to get inside it and get inside the plastic bag and everything to where the ECM was before I could pull this stuff out. So mainly to see what I needed to do. I bought this engine control module from a place called the Select Core Company. I'll put a link below so you can check it out. Hopefully I'll be recommending them after I find out if this works the way they say it's going to work. But here's the deal. It is an engine core module from a 2006 Equinox LT, just like this. Okay, same thing, front wheel drive, same size engine, same everything on it. The thing is, it came out of a non-working vehicle, of course, and it's been cleaned and restored. They take these and they reprogram them with the latest software from Chevrolet for that program. And then they also program your VIN number. In other words, the VIN number of this vehicle is in this new ECM. Prior to that, it had whatever VIN was in its old car. So it's got my VIN, and that is necessary mainly for insurance and inspection purposes. If they go to inspect your car and they discover that the VIN on the car doesn't match the computer VIN, well, you're going to have a problem. So those always need to match. But anyway, the VIN number's in there. It's identified. It will be a part of this vehicle. There is a bit of a learning process for the new computer, though. These Equinoxes have what's called a pass lock security system on them, where the key is specifically keyed, pardon the term, to the vehicle. Now, it's not in the key itself. They started out, they used to like put chips in keys and little magnets and things like that. Well, I've just got a plain old key, but the way it fits, it turns a part of the cylinder, the key lock cylinder, so that it activates a magnetic circuit and tells the onboard computer that this is the right key. No one's trying to steal the car. You can go ahead and start and let it run. Okay. And the computer has to learn that, and there's about a 30-minute process you have to go through to teach it that. I'll explain to you here a little bit later on. I got this this new ECM yesterday. I was actually going to wait a day or two until I had a little more time to focus on it and put it in. I say more time because, let me tell you right now, you can probably tell by the lighting that it's late. We have just gone through a time change, you know, so here at my latitude, it's going to be dark at 5:15. Now that leaves me maybe an hour or a little bit less to get to work on this thing. And the reason I'm pushed is because today in particular, I started having a lot of problem restarting this Equinox. It was not wanting to cooperate with me. It's been getting worse and worse on the stalling and the restarting. It'll start up and run for about 3 seconds and then stall out again. Well, that's that pass lock security system. Now my key and my key lock is working okay. It's just this onboard computer that's, I hope so anyway, that's wearing out, and it thinks it needs to activate the security system. And that, I think, is what's causing all my stalling. Now, that's, I think, because I don't know for sure. But I'm pretty well convinced that my next step has to be replacing this engine control module. I've got one. I'm kind of forced by the situation, if I want to keep this car operating, to go ahead and put it in this evening and hope I can complete the project and hope, fingers crossed, knock on wood again like I did a while ago, that it all works properly. Okay, so that's the situation. Let's get started swapping out this old ECM for this kind of new one. Well, your old videographer here once again made a bit of a boo-boo, and I failed to record part of this process. Now this time, it's not on the camera, it's on me. I apparently just either didn't push or double pressed the record button and never shot the scene. So, let me tell you what's happened in the last 5 or 6 minutes. You really haven't missed that much. But you have missed the actual changing of the guard. This is the old ECM. And this is the new one, all plugged in. Now, the only thing is taking it out of the rack, this old one, and these connectors right here each have a safety lock on them. You have to push that down, pull this forward, and that pulls right out. Okay, I'm not going to disconnect it because I just got it hooked back up, and I've already hooked the battery back up. You disconnect your negative lead before you do anything, just like always working on a car. But I've already got power back to it, so I don't want to disturb the connections. But anyway, here it is, all plugged in and ready to go. There's a number on the bottom here that's, in this case, 126-00928. That is the identifier number for this vehicle. This has the same number on it, 126-00928. So I had to be sure those match whenever I ordered a new one, and they do. If this one lasted a number of years, then I should get my use out of this one here. Numbers all match. Now here's the next step. You have this handy little bracket that it slides into and locks into place. Just like that. Two little tabs on the bottom here that actually hold this in the bracket. And then this whole thing sits on top of your battery. There's a cover here that goes down on the battery. Then this simply drops into place on it. And once again, you've got little snaps that hold it in place. And that's it. That's it, boys and girls. It is changed out. It is installed. And like I said, I've already connected the negative battery So I guess we are ready to go through the learning process. And that's going to be something altogether different. Well, okay, here we are again. Let me talk a little bit about this keying process, all right? First of all, let me just kind of read what the instructions say to you here. You rotate the key to the start position to attempt to start the vehicle. It may start, then stall, or it may not start at all. Hey, that rhymes. It may start, it may stall, or it may not start at all. No, never mind. Allow the key to return to the on position, just as if it had started. The theft system or security light, which is on the dashboard, will flash or stay lit, one or the other, for approximately 10 minutes. During that 10 minutes, you do nothing. Nothing. You can start a stopwatch if you want, or you can just sit and watch that security light until it goes off. Now, after the theft system light turns off, turn the key to the off position for 30 seconds, and then turn it back over and attempt to start the vehicle. Nothing will happen. Let it fall back to the on position and watch your security light for another 10 minutes. Then you do the whole thing again. You try to start it, but it won't start. But you leave it on and you watch the security light for a third time for 10 minutes. And then you try one more time. And at that point, your engine should start and run and stay turned on. Once the vehicle is running, the password has been learned. This completes the relearning cycle. Clear any DTCs with the scan tool if necessary, or the DTC history will be cleared after 100 ignition cycles. In other words, 100 times of starting and cutting it off. That's going to clear your codes anyway. Okay. So, I got the keys here. Everything lit up. And it would not start. But my light is flashing, so we wait 10 minutes. Okay, lights off. Now, this is off. The key's off anyway. 30 seconds, they said. So, I'm going to have to guess at 30 seconds. But you know what? I'm a radio broadcaster. I got a pretty good mental concept of how long 30 seconds is. In the meantime, I'll remind you that we've got 2 more cycles to go through here. We've got 2 more 10-minute cycles like we just finished. Okay? So we'll have to try to start here, but it's not going to start. I know that already. Turn it back to on and wait another 10 minutes. It's been about 30 seconds. And no, it still won't start. So, let's leave it on and wait another 10 minutes. Hello again, everybody, and welcome back. I say welcome back because it's the next day. Let me explain what happened here, okay? Not camera failure this time, more like daylight failure. I warned you that the sun would be setting about 5:15. Well, that combined with cloud cover had it pretty dark out here by 5 o'clock or just a little after. Too dark to film. So, here's what happened. And it's interesting. Okay, we went through that third 10-minute wait. I cut the key off, 30 seconds, turned it back on, went to start the car, and sure enough, it started. Or it would have. It just kind of went, bump. Because I had run the battery down too low to start the car. Now there's a little cautionary line here, right at the very top. It says, right under the line that says read all the instructions before you try doing this, first thing says, ensure your battery is fully charged before attempting the following procedure. We recommend that you use a battery charger with a 1 or 2 amp charge during the following security system relearn. I have 2 battery chargers. I could have easily put one on the battery with a trickle charge. Did I? No. Because although I do remember reading that initially, I just kind of totally forgot it in the heat of the moment. You know, I told you I was kind of doing this whole procedure under duress. I was afraid that if I didn't do something, the car was not going to start at all, and I'd be stuck trying to get to work at 4:30 the next morning. Didn't want to do that. Well, anyway, if and when you ever must replace an ECM in your vehicle, be sure you put your battery on a trickle charge. I don't care if that sucker is brand new. Put a trickle charge on it so that it doesn't run down, because apparently this whole process of reprogramming the ECM can be rather energy intensive. Okay, all right, all that being said, I didn't have enough power to start the car, so I had to go get the battery charger, hook it up in the dark, and let it sit there for, I think I went about 3 hours, something like that. And then I came back out and checked the voltage on the battery. It got back up over 12 volts. That should be enough to do it. So I hooked it all back up, and I went to start the car, just like I'm about to now. And here's what happened. It started right up beautifully. It has been starting flawlessly ever since. It even, maybe it's just me, but I swear it's even idling smoother. It just seems to be, and when I was driving, it seemed to shift better. You know, maybe I'm just expecting this, and so that's what's happening. But, point is, changing the ECM is a good thing. It has improved the operation of this car. Will it completely solve the stalling problem? Well, the jury is still out on that. I'm going to drive her around for the rest of this week, and then I'll let you know. Okay, once again, a couple of days have passed. I'm actually out here between rain showers to talk to you, just so I can tell you that this little baby has not stalled one time since I changed out this ECM. So I'm not standing here looking at it because something's wrong. I'm standing here admiring it because it's working so beautifully. My thanks to these people for helping me to work through one of the most puzzling and frustrating mechanical issues I have ever had with a vehicle. And I think we're going to be okay now. It worked before. Maybe it'll work again. And with that, we're going to be out of here for another week. We didn't get to doing the troubleshooting on Pearl, but quite frankly, it's late in the week, and I think I'm about to get rained on out here again. So we're going to wrap this up. Check the links below, and like I said, if you need an ECM, I strongly suggest you you look at that link and talk to those people. Go to their website, check it out, okay? You can also go to my website, themtandme.com, find out a lot more about Pearl and the Mobile Traveler Organization. You can buy me a coffee, get all kinds of other information, and above all, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. We're almost at 300 subscribers. Let's push it on up there, okay? And of course, those likes, those thumbs ups are always so important. Thank you, Nomies, for watching and supporting and getting me through all these problems. Give me your input. Give me your comments. I want to know what you're thinking about what's going on, okay? So let's hear from you. And be sure and join me again next week here on the MT and Me. Till then, I'm Russ. Knocking on wood. We'll talk later.